Honorable Minister here that we study and research these our own handicrafts, our own indigenous handicraft, and bring it into the ambit of the courses that are provided in our national institutes. The National Institute is set up to improve the design capabilities of India's small-scale and medium enterprise. We need to pay greater attention to the design of our crafts industry, because without a thriving craft industry, we cannot showcase to the world or even export our ancient traditional craft to the world with better quality and better design. And in order to do so, such courses have to be implemented in our design institutes. So far, we have introduced the National Institute of Fashion Technology, the Footwear Design Development Centers, but handicraft is still left out. So I urge the Minister who is present here to please take into account and also put in the study of handicraft, handlooms that still remain outside of the ambit of the design institutes. Students who enter NID should have the option of specializing in craft and design, because unless you are going to upgrade the traditional handcrafts and artisan skills, you are not going to be able to expand employment, and you're not going to be able to expand exports. So it is of utmost importance that we take handlooms and handicraft under the ambit of the National Institute of Design and provide such courses. There was an honourable member who has just mentioned here that the fees that are charged in these institutes are fairly high. It's about, as has been said by the member, over 2 lakh rupees. We have to specifically, और खास तौर से हमारे उत्तर प्रदेश और बिहार और पूरे भारतवर्ष के जो शेड्यूल कास्ट और शेड्यूल ट्राइब के लोग हैं, इन लोगों को इन संस्थाओं से जोड़ने के लिए ये अत्यंत ही जरूरी है कि हमारे देश में इन संस्थानों के अंदर उनके फीस के जो प्रावधान है उनको कम किया जाए और उनको फ्री एजुकेशन यहाँ पे प्रदान करके उनको भी इस डिजाइन इंस्टीट्यूट की मुख्य धारा से जोड़ा जाए ताकि वो देश की उन्नति में पूरी तरह से भागीदारी निभा सकें. I would also like to point out here that the standing committee also recommended that the chairperson of the governing council of the institute should be an academic from the field of design only. But so far, currently what we have, that the chairperson can be an eminent academic, scientist or technologist or professional or industrialist to be nominated by the President of India. This, I think, also needs a fair amount of study. We need to look at the fact that the National Institute of Design ought to be headed by somebody who's an expert in the field so that they may be able to strengthen the institution in itself and take it forward. At the end, in section 6(1)(m), I would suggest that the institute should establish, develop and equip courses and centers for research, workshop in traditional, indigenous and cultural design of various parts of India. Madam Speaker, thank you very much for allowing me to speak, and I appreciate this opportunity, and I hope that the Honourable Minister will make the specific provisions for fee discounts or complete free education for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes students in this bill as well. Thank you very much.
Shri Som Prakash ji. Shri Som Prakash ji. Shri Som Prakash, MOS Commerce and Trade. Will you please sit down, Mr. Roy? Shri B.B. Patil.
Madam Speaker, thank you. First of all, I would like to mention here that it is very heartening to see that design has been brought to the forefront. It is indeed a big recognition for the design profession in the country. And this bill will give an impetus to the activities of the institute, giving design education in India as a global foothold. The students and faculty will get immense benefit with this recognition. This status will also help in the repositioning the institute globally for networking with premier design institutions, create additional opportunities for research scholars, faculty and student exchange, and boost design research in the country. These NIDs in different regions of the country will help produce highly skilled manpower in design by providing sustainable design intervention for rural technology, crafts, handlooms, small, medium and large-scale enterprises, and outreach program for the capacity, capability and institute building. Setting up the more national institutes of design in different regions of the country will add to produce highly skilled professionals in the field of design and will create ample job opportunity in the small, medium as well as large-scale enterprises. Speaker, sir, I would especially like to request the Honorable Minister for Commerce and Industry for setting up of National Institute of Design at Hyderabad, as there has been an injustice with our Telangana state, as the current NID center at Vijayawada was actually sanctioned for Hyderabad, but due to bifurcation was shifted to Vijayawada. A National Institute of Design should be sanctioned to the Telangana state, or the current NID center at Vijayawada be shifted to Hyderabad at the earliest. This is my humble request to the Honorable Minister and Commerce of Industry. Thank you.
Shri A.M. Arif, आप बैठिए. Mr. Roy, do not. Shri A.M. Arif.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to speak on the National Institute of Design Amendment Bill 2019. Over the last 60 years, Parliament has declared 134 institutions as institutions of national importance. It started way back in 1956 with IIT Kharagpur, and we are now going to add 4 more this session. Madam Speaker, simply declaring institutions of national importance are not enough. Many institutions are facing many challenges. We must think about the challenges seriously. The main problem in our institution of national importance is not students, but faculty. They get the best students because they come through a competitive examination. We select the best, but the faculty, sir, we have a long way to go. Even in IITs, the faculty shortage is anywhere between 30 to 40%. In IMS, the faculty shortage is anywhere between 20 and 30%. And these are institutions of national importance. So, my earnest request to Honorable Minister is, please pay attention to faculty development in the institutions of national importance. But at the same time, tuition fees and fees for hostel fees have been increasing day by day. And the students are getting agitation against these fee size. By taking this opportunity, I request to the Honorable HRD Minister, to you, to intervene the matter and settle the strike, including JNU. Again, let's come to the bill. I do agree with the institutions such as National Institute of Design has a big role in the social development and employment generation. The National Institute of Design was set up to improve the design capability of India's small and medium enterprises. NIDs have the option of specializing in craft design, because unless you are going to upgrade the traditional handicrafts and artisanal skills, you are not going to be able to expand employment, and you are not going to be able to expand exports either. So I think this craft focus is needed. Social innovation at the grassroots level is very, very important. I request the government which come forward with Make in India to start a Design in India program and use that the Design in India program to expand employment, to expand exports and deepen the roots of social innovation as our neighboring country is doing. Thank you, madam.
Shri E.T. Mohammed Bashir.
Amendment Act. It is in the proper direction. I feel that it's a good move. This institution, once it is made national institution, it enabled to grant degrees and diplomas, and in addition to that, they will have freedom in designing the courses and conducting the examination and that kind of things. In addition to that, madam, marketing side is also very important. Made in India, design in India will have an impact. Most demand is in the employment market. Consumer attraction also is very much in this. In order to achieve all these things, we have to make our education system that of international standard. Madam, it's a good move. Instead of offering conventional type of degree courses in the higher education side, we have to foresee the new era of higher learning in the national and international level. India is blessed with talented young manpower. Our optimum utilization of manpower in accordance with the developing world market, India can reach in the forefront. Upgradation of the existing design colleges to the university will create more and more avenues to us. And employment opportunities in India and abroad is also very attractive. Industry needs such persons. If you look to the salary side, madam, salary part is very attractive for these designers. If we look into this, it's very attractive. Example, average salary package now available in average fashion designer is 3.50 lakh. Graphic designer 2.70 lakhs. UN UX designers 6 lakhs. Textile designer 3.60 lakhs. So madam, it is very attractive in that way also. Among the top 15 countries in the world, India is very less expensive country for education. We can attract foreign students also, madam, because of 2-3 things. Expense in Indian higher education is comparatively less. Similarly, medium of instruction in Indian higher education sector is English. In all these ways, we can attract students from different parts of the world. Now, sir, I would like to emphasize a very important point. This giving autonomy and giving national status for higher education institutions is very good, most welcome. But we have to be very careful in this. What is? Autonomy should not be an open general license for the higher education institution to do anything according to their desire. One thing is sure, as Jnana Commission has pointed out, autonomy should be coupled with accountability. That's the most important thing. Now, in this most important thing is affordability. Affordability of all sections of the society. It should not be unreachable for the poor students. Similarly, all kind of reservation system, this kind of system also should be strictly adhered into. I would like to tell you a very, very classic example. Now, there are rows. I don't want to say about that. I don't look out to JNU, IIM Chennai, and all the BHU. See, what is happening? We have given them freedom. Okay. But one thing we must understand. Honorable Minister is accountable in this parliament. He is accountable to taxpayer. If universities or the national institution believe that they can live in an island of their own, undisputed, unquestionable, that is not acceptable, madam. They must have accountability to people. There, what is happening? There we can see, this Honorable Minister of Education, he recently issued a statement, a circular on IIM in India. He says in his the circular, he says that SC, ST, OBC faculty in IIM, he has given that figure, sir, madam, that figures are in the IIM. They are denying the reservation. Some caste-based kind of consideration is prevailing in such institution. However, the minister, he had warned all the IIM people not to go in this direction. It should be reachable, and this kind of reservation principle should be strictly adhered into that. Similarly, madam, another thing, in this country is that of poor. Below poverty line, we know there are crores and crores of people. We should not close the doors of the higher education for the poor students. They must have access to that institution. So what I am saying in brief is, all these kinds of things are good. We must have a national kind of institution. India is having a bright future, madam. India, the most talented young manpower resources there in India. Everywhere we have got chances. Indians are having that much of prominence around the world. As I told you in the beginning, we can attract students from foreign countries also. It is our golden era India is going to have. In this direction, what I am saying is, we must ensure social justice. Social justice should be strictly adhered to. Madam, I welcome this move. At the same time, we must have application on the points which I have humbly raised. Madam, in this few words, I conclude. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Shri Pallav Lochan Das ji.
Thank you, Chair Madam, Chairman Madam, मैं आपको धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। आपने नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ डिज़ाइन अमेंडमेंट बिल 2019 के फेवर में बोलने के लिए मुझे मौका दिया।
बस इधर ठीक है। नहीं, use the same mic. हाँ, this is better.
Thank you.
मैडम पोल पीड़ित है, पोल पीड़ित।
नहीं, because the pillar is coming, that's why.
Okay, thank you. मैं पहले भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को धन्यवाद और आभार प्रकट करना चाहूँगा और हमारे इंडस्ट्री एंड कॉमर्स मिनिस्टर को भी धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। उन्होंने नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ डिज़ाइन अमेंडमेंट बिल 2019 को लाकर हम असम में एक नया एनआईडी बनाने का और एनआईडी को नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ नेशनल इम्पोर्टेंस बनाने का जो सिद्धांत लिया, उसको मैं असम के लोगों के तरफ से धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। मैडम, हम सभी जानते हैं आज के वर्ल्ड में डिज़ाइन का बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। थ्रू डिज़ाइन हम लोग पूरा चेंज कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि आजकल हमारे जितने भी इंस्टीट्यूट हैं हम पढ़ा रहे हैं वहाँ पे, लेकिन हमारे जितने भी नए पीढ़ी के जितने भी स्टूडेंट हैं उनको हम रिसर्च करने का, एक्सीलेंट ट्रेनिंग देने का और मार्केट रिसर्च करने के बाद फिर पढ़ने का जो मौका और माहौल, ये बनाना बहुत ज़रूरी है। अगर उनको हम रिसर्च करने के लिए मौका देंगे, अपना जो टैलेंट है वो टैलेंट दिखाने का अगर हम लोग मौका देंगे, तो देश में एक नया माहौल बनेगा। आज एनआईडी के थ्रू ये माहौल बन रहा है। थ्रू एनआईडी हम जितने भी स्टूडेंट को वहाँ पे पढ़ा रहे हैं, वो स्टूडेंट जाके मार्केट रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, सबके साथ बात कर रहे हैं, सारी चीज़ों को देखकर वो वहाँ पे पढ़ रहे हैं। ऐसा इंस्टीट्यूट हम सभी राज्यों में होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि हम लोग ट्रेडिशनल जो आर्ट्स के कोर्स, ऐसे कोर्स पढ़ रहे हैं जिसमें खाली क्लार्क ही हम लोग होते हैं। हमको टेक्निकल नॉलेज हम लोगों को बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि हम लोगों का पूर्वज की हम लोगों का टेक्निकल नॉलेज बहुत ज़्यादा था, हम लोग टेक्निकली बहुत साउंड थे, लेकिन वो टेक्निकल इंस्टीट्यूट ना होने के वजह से हम लोग आगे नहीं बढ़ पा रहे हैं। आज असम में एनआईडी बन रहा है और एनआईडी अभी है, फिर भी एनआईडी का डिप्लोमा ही तक उनका सीमित है। वो डिग्री दे नहीं पा रहे हैं, वो मास्टर्स नहीं दे पा रहे हैं, वो पीएचडी नहीं दे पा रहे हैं। अगर ये बिल आएगा, इस बिल के थ्रू वो डिग्री उनको मिल पाएगा, मास्टर्स वो कर पाएंगे और वो लोग पीएचडी भी हो सकते हैं। और ये बहुत ज़रूरी है और गवर्नमेंट ने ये इनिशिएटिव लिया, बहुत ही अच्छा इनिशिएटिव। हम चाहते हैं वहाँ पे जो भी कोर्सेस है, वो कोर्सेस को थोड़ा दायरा और भी बढ़ाना चाहिए। अभी जो कोर्सेस है, एनिमेशन, फिल्म डिज़ाइन, सेरेमिक और ग्लास डिज़ाइन, एग्जीबिशन डिज़ाइन, फिल्म एंड वीडियो कम्युनिकेशन, फर्नीचर डिज़ाइन, ग्राफिक डिज़ाइन, प्रोडक्ट डिज़ाइन, टेक्सटाइल डिज़ाइन, ये सारे जब डिज़ाइन है, इसमें और दूसरा भी डिज़ाइन जो नया नया हम लोग का ट्रेडिशनल डिज़ाइन है, उनको भी इंक्लूड करना बहुत ही ज़रूरी है, मैं ये मानता हूँ। मैं ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं बोलूँगा, मैं यही बोलना चाहूँगा, असम के थ्रू असम में जो भी सीट कैपेसिटी है, वो सीट कैपेसिटी को थोड़ा बढ़ाना चाहिए। अभी कैपेसिटी 60 है, वो 60 जो कैपेसिटी है उनको अगर बढ़ा सकते हैं, उसके लिए मैं आग्रह करूँगा, वो अगर बढ़ा सकते हैं। फैकल्टी भी वहाँ पे बढ़ाना चाहिए और फैकल्टी का जो क्वालिटी होना चाहिए वो भी थोड़ा सा अच्छा होना चाहिए, इंटरनेशनल लेवल का होना चाहिए। और यहाँ बिल में बोला गया है हम लोग कैंपस बना सकते हैं, देश के बाहर भी हम लोग कैंपस बना सकते हैं, ये बोला है, तो ये भी बनाना बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है उसके साथ हमको भी कॉम्पीट करना है। हम लोग इंटरनेशनली हम लोगों को, बच्चे को या हमारे नया स्टूडेंट को, उनको उस लेवल के लेके जाना है। हम लोग एनआईडी अहमदाबाद को देखा है, हम एनआईडी अहमदाबाद में बहुत ही चेंजेस हुआ है और एनआईडी अहमदाबाद के थ्रू अभी इंटरनेशनली अहमदाबाद को रिकॉग्निशन मिला है, बहुत बाहरों में भी, यूएसए में भी एनआईडी अहमदाबाद को भी बहुत अच्छा रिकॉग्निशन है। तो उस लेवल तक हमको लेके जाना है। मैं आसाम के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बोलना चाहूँगा। हम बोलते हैं हमारे जो सबसे बड़े सोशल रिफॉर्मर थे शंकरदेव जी ने उसी टाइम में ही वृंदावनी वस्त्र बनाया था, जिसको वृंदावनी वस्त्र बोला जाता है। और उनका जो बनाने का जो हुनर है उसी टाइम में अभी जो लंदन में म्यूजियम में है, अभी असम में वो नहीं है। तो उस लेवल तक हम लोग टेक्सटाइल टेक्नीशियन को थ्रू हम लोग आगे ले जा सकते हैं। असम में सबसे बढ़िया सिल्क मिलता है, उस सिल्क को कितना अच्छा डिजाइन तक हम लोग ले जा सकते हैं, उसका भी वहाँ पे अगर व्यवस्था हो जाए तो हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छा है। वहाँ पे बेल मेटल का कारीगर रहते हैं, उनका भी ट्रेडिशनल डिजाइन है, उस डिजाइन को भी हम लोग अगर इंक्लूड करते हैं और हमारे जितने भी ट्रेडिशनल डिजाइन है उस डिजाइन के ऊपर हम लोग अगर रिसर्च करके उसी भी डिजाइन को अगर हमारे नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ डिजाइन में इंक्लूड करते हैं और उसको पढ़ाने का हम लोग अगर व्यवस्था करते हैं तो हमारे लिए भी बहुत फायदा होगा और हमारे स्टूडेंट भी सीखेंगे और हमारे जो भी कारीगर है उनको भी एक मार्केट मिलेगा। तो उस लेवल तक अगर हम लोग जाएंगे और मार्केट रिसर्च और एनआईडी के थ्रू मैं ये भी बोलना चाहूंगा, क्योंकि एनआईडी के स्टूडेंट्स को दूसरे जगहों पे भी लेके जाना बहुत जरूरी है। जो भी हमारे हाई सेकेंडरी लेवल का स्कूल्स है उस स्कूल्स में उन लोगों को लेके जाके इंटरेक्शन करना बहुत जरूरी है। हम जितना इंटरेक्शन करेंगे नए लड़कों के साथ, नए बच्चों, नए स्टूडेंट के साथ, तो वो भी टेक्निकली आगे बढ़ने के लिए उनको मौका मिलेगा, उनको प्रेरणा मिलेगा। तो ऐसा अगर उस लेवल तक हम लोग लेके जाते हैं तो हमारे लिए बहुत ही अच्छा रहेगा। तो मैं यही आशा करता हूं, जो अभी हम लोग नया एनआईडी बना रहे हैं, जो नेशनल इम्पोर्टेंस हम लोग उनका लेवल तक लेके जा रहे हैं, उनका क्वालिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन बढ़ा रहे हैं, एक्सीलेंस बढ़ा रहे हैं, ऐसे भी आगे भी ऐसा करना चाहिए, मैं ये उम्मीद करता हूं। और असम के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में मैं बोलना चाहूँगा, मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं क्योंकि असम में ये एनआईडी बन रहा है और एनआईडी बढ़ रहा है और इस एनआईडी को और बढ़ाने के लिए मैं आशा करता हूं इसको और सीट कैपेसिटी बढ़ाया जाए और उनका जो फैसिलिटी है वो फैसिलिटीज को भी और बढ़ाया जाए, ये मैं उम्मीद करता हूं और आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं और मुझे बोलने के लिए मौका देने के लिए थैंक यू।
Honorable Member Sri Shashi Tharoor ji.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. This may seem to be a routine bill, but it actually covers a vital set of issues. Design actually plays a very important role in how a country is perceived by its global neighbors and citizens. And the fact is that while we have a lot happening in the design area, Indian designers are reimagining today's products by evoking the spirit of our country's age-old traditions. Nonetheless, the fact is that we have to appreciate that in everything to do with the conceptualization and communication of the essence of our nation in a globalized world, design and art play a vitally important role. What are we doing to understand and enhance our appreciation of design? How do we take it a step further so the capacity to deliver design is pursued by our government? In fact, everything we do, every single action, from the way we brush our teeth to the way we talk or we deliver a speech in Parliament, has two elements to it. There is the motive, that is the intention or purpose, and there is the execution, which is the performance of the action. Now, it is in the performance of the action that we see the design. Through the design, we see what materials have been used, how these have been arranged, what method has been used to arrange them or combine them with one another. It's through the design of an action that you can judge the appropriateness of the action to its motive or purpose. Whenever we see, hear, interact with a product or a person, design heavily influences our perceptions and our ability to interact with it. And on top of that, the synchronization between product design and communication can increase the perceived value of a product or service in the eyes of a consumer. Indian design in turn influences how India is perceived across the world. Given that the world of the 21st century is increasingly a world in which we are focusing on the importance of soft power, where we have to really win over the publics of the world, design is part of our crucial strengths in soft power. So any legislation any sound legislation for a design ecosystem is crucial for the future of a modernizing economy like India's. This becomes especially relevant to India given our young population and our competitive performance in the design sector. Now, the bill is obviously crucial in this. We understand now what the importance of design is. What are we doing through this bill to encourage the study and delivery of design? Now, Indians have for centuries proven that given the right training and environment, we can produce works of art and substance that are unmatched in design across the world. Consider jewelry design, where India is a world leader, for example. The bedazzling shapes and material combinations that our country's master jewelry workers constantly churn out is a testament to the significant demand and appreciation for our jewelry from the rest of the world. Same with our robust textiles industry. Even the success of ISRO's Mars orbiter, Mangalyaan, is linked to design. We all know and we boast about the fact that it was developed for a total cost lower than the cost of the Hollywood space movie Gravity. And it's a great example of India's ability to embrace frugality with high technology design. But do we know that it owes a good part of the success to the modular design approach that was favored by ISRO? So design comes in all sorts of ways that perhaps we've not taken into account in this debate. But despite this rich history of design innovation, we are outpaced and outnumbered by other nations when we just look at things like intellectual property registration applications that are made every year. In fact, these patents, trademarks, industrial designs provide a very, very good indication of design innovation. And in 2017, India filed just 1,583 international patent applications as against 48,206 by Japan, 48,900 by China, and I'm quoting figures from the World Intellectual Property Organization. We fare even worse on the industrial designs front. In 2017, India registered only 10,253 industrial designs as compared to China's 8,57,753 and the US's 3,53,707. So our total number of industrial designs, Madam Chairman, is just 2.97% of the US's and staggeringly just 1.23% of China's. Where are we lacking, ma'am? We talk about Make in India, Startup India, Digital India. While these are admirable in principle, we must associate them with an upskilling in design principles. Otherwise, we will not be able to succeed in any of these, even manufacturing. There's more to manufacturing than just building something. Manufacturing is the production of physical goods, but design involves the way in which these goods are produced, how the products are constructed, and they go all the way right up to service delivery as a whole. Conceived in such a manner, design is a vital part of our economic development and our overall quality of life. So, this is why I think this whole institution, the National Institute of Design, is so important to us, and why it is, in a common sense understanding of the term, an institute of national importance. But what exactly is an institution of national importance? The HRD committee has observed that the term institution of national importance has not been defined anywhere in this bill. Despite 95 higher education institutions having earned this title until 29th October, this term has never been defined. No parameters have been set to evaluate an institution in terms of its academic excellence, faculty resources, infrastructure. Surely, Mr. Minister, there must be some criteria of both quality and numbers to merit such a term. I urge the Minister to insert this explanation into the bill. Our institutions of national importance keep swelling. They've gone from 40 in 2013 to 95 just 6 years later in 2019. So this government keeps wanting to create these institutions. Please define the term so we understand what it is we are creating. So organizations like UGSC, MHRD, AICT all use the term. There is still nothing in the legislation. It is reasonable to expect that a term that has such significant bearing on our higher education ecosystem should be well defined in our law books, Madam Chairman. The committee has strongly recommended that you must do this, and I would urge you to encourage the Minister to define this. In fact, the committee actually called for the NID Bill 2014 to define it, but it was not paid heed to either in the 2018 or 2019 versions of the bill, neither of which, by the way, had been referred to the Standing Committee. So there is a real fall here. Number two, ma'am, the failure to define the term INI means a failure to lay down the criterion and therefore without well-researched objective criteria, it'll be a shame if institutions unworthy of the title get it and institutions deserving of it don't get it. That's what's happening, ma'am. The committee has recommended in the past that mere nomenclature will merely lead to complacency. So what we need is for institutions to understand what they need to do to become INIs and how that limited distinction confers certain obvious prestige and benefits. The truth is, ma'am, that the concept is now being diluted by our present government, which, as I said, has gone from 40 to 95, and every expert will tell you the status should be earned and not just conferred at random. We can pass a bill, but what has the institution done to earn the distinction in this bill? On that, we absolutely need some clarity from the Minister. I do want to say, ma'am, we've had an example with the triple ITs, the Indian Institutes of Information Technology. In addition to 4 triple ITs, 20 were proposed to be established to be operated on a private-public partnership, with the investment being shared between centre, states and private industry. And then, with all of this, they came up with a certain logical panel that would decide whether these institutions should get INI status, and they said they would look into strength, competence of faculty, outcomes, learning outcomes. That, at least there is a process there. Here, we don't know where this is coming from. And as I've mentioned, ma'am, we're lagging behind on research and innovation. There's a recent World Bank analysis which says that our nation has fewer research and development professionals per million people than most other countries. We just had 216 in 2015, whereas China had 1,158, the US had 4,279, and Japan had 5,173 per million people. So we have to make sure the Indian workforce is equipped to do the necessary research and development. We need to make sure that we redesign curricula for the 21st century economy. We need to create value-added jobs in the manufacturing and design areas, give advanced training in various aspects of design, graphics, animation, computer design, software, architecture design, industrial design, all of these. Film industry is also trying to catch up. I'm just saying it cuts across the board, ma'am. 2 minutes more, I'll just wrap up. The inability to provide desirable jobs to graduating students is a consequence of what I've described. Students graduating out of NID Ahmedabad, which is the first one to get the INI status, have experienced a major gap between the education they receive and the jobs offered to them. Last year, the luxury car manufacturer Rolls-Royce came to NID to recruit. This year, they haven't come back. The question everyone is asking is NID finding out what went wrong? Was the issue with student performance? Is our curriculum out of date? Are we not up to global standards? We should keep improving the quality of NID before we just blindly give a terminology, madam. And I do want to stress that making our design graduates acceptable to world-class recruiters is in the national interest. Let us promote quality as well, ma'am. And finally, let us bring design to the masses. We are still a relatively poor country. My constituency, I'm very proud to say, was where the birthplace of Raja Ravi Verma was. What did he do? His lithographs brought images of gods and goddesses to the masses, including to people who in those days were excluded from worshipping in the temples. Just design can actually transform society. What is today's lithograph by comparison? How do we ensure this is done? The National Investment and Manufacturing Zones were created, and there were supposed to be NIDs in every one of them. That mandate has not been fulfilled either, and therefore the whole question of setting up the necessary digital labs has not been taken care of. I'm going to end, ma'am, finally with a concluding remark, which is just this. The bill is a missed opportunity. Merely conferring the status of institutional national importance without defining it is too limited an objective for this bill. The design sector needs a national policy on design, which can then be incorporated into legislation. We need to develop India's workforce, stress research and development, a digital ecosystem, and ultimately move towards the future of our modernizing economy, ma'am. In addition to Make in India, we need to encourage design in India. This is what will help build India in the 21st century. Thank you, ma'am.
Mananiya Sangsad Anubhav Mohanty ji, nothing is going on record. This is not going on record. Anubhav ji, ये भी ऐसा आदमी है.
Ma'am, in 1956, when India In 1956, when India was embarking on a scientific and industrial journey, legendary product designers of that era, Charles and Ray Ames, were invited to India so that they could recommend a program that can fuel India's growth in the manufacturing and industrial sector. Based on their interaction, they presented the India report, which recommended the formation of National Institute of Design, and thus NID came into existence in 1960. The date is important as design thinking at that point of time was still in infancy in the West. Thus I salute the vision of then government who looked into the aspect of manufacturing from the lens of design and understood that aesthetic and usability of a product is equal to its utility. Design thinking is a brilliant cognitive process, and at the center of it lays empathy. Design thinking says that every product should be seen from the eyes of the customer. One should employ empathy by placing himself in the shoes of the customer. The customer should find the product non-taxing on him and should be able to interact with it in a fluid manner. In this context, the example of Amazon is important to cite, as Jeff Bezos once told his designers that buying anything should not be more than 3 steps. The beauty of Apple products lies in design thinking. Why our Apple phone first did away with the conventional keypad, was the first in the industry to have only one button, seems its way back to design thinking. Steve Jobs didn't know how to do computer coding. He only knew how to design consumer interaction with the product. And thus, his whole life was a quest to better interaction with the product. And thus, the National Institute of Design aspires to do the same. In our campuses, there might be so many Steve Jobs thinking how to design something big, the next big. If we have to support them, and if we support, this bill does that precisely by giving the thing all they need in our support. By giving the Institute of National Importance tag to the newly established for NIDs as well, we are elevating the brand